I know a lot of singers who make a living singing, and once they leave the stage, they don't sing.
Well, that's when his day began. You know, we're getting ready to kind of wind down. He's just starting.
And every night when we finished, no matter what the time, we went upstairs and we sung to his friends.
As long as Elvis was up and around, you were almost on call. And he goes, "You guys coming up to the suite tonight?" You know, yeah, we'll see you up there. You know, whether you told your wife you'd be home early or whatever, you know, if he wanted you to go up, you'd go up.
We would be working with Jimmy Dean in Las Vegas, and we'd have to wait on to our last night with Jimmy Dean, because we knew if we went over to Elvis's suite, he would have us sing all night. We'd go there and we'd start at about 12 o'clock. Or whenever our show was over, and we would go till about 6 or 7 in the morning just singing songs. And the one song I remember, he always did, "I, John, saw a mighty number." That was his thing.
I, John, saw a mighty number, we're in the middle of the air. Saw a mighty number, we're in the middle of the air. I, John, saw a mighty number, we're in the middle of the air. There were 3 gates in the east, 3 gates in the west, 3 gates in the north, 3 gates in the south. 12 gates to the city, 4 square wide. Highly got the mighty number. John saw a mighty number, way up in the middle of the air. John saw a mighty number, way in the middle of the air. Oh, John declared, saw a man, and where a bright star in his right hand, while his eyes flashed fire like a burning sun. Oh, John got scared, he wanted to run. Well, he wanted to run, but his feet wouldn't go, 'cause he felt the gospel cutting like a two-edged sword. And he heard a voice, "John, you take a look and read what you see, and you write it in a book." He saw it.
He loved it, and we just sung and sung and sung, just as our own quartet. And then he would get into it. By the time we would say, "Oh my goodness, we can get a break here," then he started singing.
We do 2 shows a night for 5 weeks. A lot of times we'll go upstairs and sing until daylight. Gospel songs. We grew up with it from the time I can remember, like 2 years old. It more or less puts your mind at ease. It does mine.
And there was always a lot of people in the suite, by invitation only, of course, but the Inspirations would go up, and the Imperials and the band members that wanted to come up, and it was a different mix every night. But if you knew he wanted you up there, he wanted you up there because he wanted you to sing, or he wanted to do something later on, or wanted you to be involved in whatever was going on up there. And so you'd show up.
Here we're lined up, all of these stars that, I mean, you just name who's who in Hollywood, they were there that night.
Marty Allen and Red Fox and the Carpenters and Vicky Carr,
Lucille Ball, Cary Grant, you just name them. And they were standing in line to go in and see Elvis. And I thought, isn't this weird? We're looking at them saying, "Oh, there's so-and-so." And they're there to see the guy that we're working for. They've come to see him. And I thought, this is ironic, here we are looking out at the hallway, and they don't know, we're just some guys up on the stage, and we're looking at all these guys. They came to see Elvis. And we're close with Elvis.
He'd gather them all around, and he liked the gospel music so much that he would almost force them as his guest to listen to gospel music. And if they wouldn't listen, he'd get up on the piano bench and he'd stand up there and wave his arms and make them listen to the gospel music, because it was what he liked.
There was one time I remember when they were holding hands and somebody looked up and Elvis said, "Put your head down." I told you, put your head down. He'd tell them, "Keep your head down." And so they'd bow and we'd sing the song. And a lot of people were exposed to gospel music, and to hear that kind of a message in a song that probably they never heard before. And it's because of him, and his love for this kind of music is pretty important to him, I guess.
And it wasn't so much what we did, it was what happened in the room, the atmosphere, how it changed from one setting to this unbelievable setting where cold chills are on your arm, you know. And I kind of used that in my analogy of the Holy Spirit sort of came in there, and He sort of dwelt among us, and we really began to live the words instead of singing the words. It kind of came in there and saturated us and made us all equal. I think that's the thing that equals us all out, because when Elvis started singing, you knew he meant what he was singing. You know, he meant those words.
He liked to hear Ed Enoch sing a particular song, and he'd have Donnie Sumner sing a song.
And I thank God for the lighthouse. I owe my life to Him. Jesus is a lighthouse from the rocks of sin. I remember one stormy night when just in time I saw the light. If it wasn't for the lighthouse, where would this ship be?
At that time, it wasn't as enjoyable for me because of being tired and kind of want to take a break from it, you know, singing so many hours. But if I had that opportunity to do it again, I would sing just as long as I could stay up. For I think right there is where I really found the real Elvis Presley.
He had this real fancy suite. It had this real nice shower stall in it. And he liked the reverb sound, so he said he wanted us to come in. We went in the shower stall and sung Sweet, Sweet Spirit for Elvis so he could hear that song with the natural reverb in it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, I would like to ask the Stamps if they would sing a song that they do by themselves. It's a beautiful song called Sweet, Sweet Spirit. And I don't sing in this. Just listen to them, please.
There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place, and I know that it's the Spirit of the expressions on each face, and I know that it's the presence of the Lord. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet